2020.
2020.
Yes.
Yeah, we are officially live for 2025 High Vibe. Hi, everybody. We are excited to be here. I'm Derick Gant.
And I'm Coach Dawn Johnson. Welcome to this beautiful space on this beautiful Thursday evening.
Yes, what a beautiful day. I know it's snowing and storming and threatening, ice and cold all over the universe. I have a client in Memphis, and they were like, oh, we're going to the store, and we got here, and the shelves are bare because they're going to get 3 inches of snow. I was like, ooh. So I know it's a winter storm, and people are looking for things to keep their spirits high, which is why we're bringing you High Vibe. High Vibe is our podcast that we pulled together about a year ago because, there's just so much negativity, and you got to have something to counteract that. How many times have I said, in a talk or something that we have 70,000 thoughts? And we think about ourselves 95% of the time. So if you put those two stats together, you're going to come up with we have about 67,000 thoughts about ourselves. And if we're consuming negative information, if we're thinking negative about ourselves, our overall vibe, which is what extends who we really are, is going to be negative. So we decided to do High Vibe. Coach Dawn is amazing. She's always operating at this incredibly high level. And when I'm in my zone, operate at a really high level. But we wanted to tell you about High Vibe. We want to tell you what our purpose is. So, we are two separate experts. I am a financial coach, and Coach Dawn is a life and corporate coach. And we have, over the years, we have been able to merge some of our clients who were really in need of some support. And so we came up with, there's got to be more people that are really struggling, or more people that are seeking, maybe not struggling, but seeking more information, more opportunity, more interest. And so we're going to launch 2025 with the title of Manifesting Your Mutual Magic. And we actually have a whole file folder on mutual magic, which is what we do when we work together.
Yes, absolutely.
To help people do what they need to do. So Coach Dawn, tell me about your mutual magic.
Well, I will have to say that mutual magic, or being magical, actually was coined by many of my clients that, in the work that we do together in this very intimate space on one-on-one coaching, really from a beautiful elevated heart space. And through the transformation process of the healing journey, it's been so dope for many of my clients just to say, man, what I do is magical. And so I haven't always been magical, but it's just super dope to be in this space, to be able to create something from a place of love, from a place of my own inner journey that I had to take, that I started in 2018. And it's been super dope to bring in just a multitude of amazing humans that have chosen me to come along this journey together. And by meeting you, my lovely person, back in 2019 when we officially met, introduced by a mutual friend. And you came into my life in a way as a friend, as someone to guide and support me and to help me with my business, because I was just starting out, and you are a seasoned professional in coaching and managing humans' money, and just overall that advocate for wellness and making sure that and supporting people in living their best, most authentic lives. And of course, I resonated with that. It's like, but sometimes, again, we get in our own way, and I couldn't
resonate with it originally.
Well, I couldn't actually see you were cool that you were my person. I didn't know.
You were cool in the beginning. I was helping you get set up, and helping you were set up, but helping you like advance your setup and really get your business going, making some money and getting new clients and all the fun things. And I'm just gonna tell y'all what happened was, okay? That's what I'm gonna do. So then she can tell you your heart side. So what happened was, at a certain point, we're working together, And so let's tell a real story. So in the beginning, our mutual friend said, "Hey, can you help?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So when I decided to help, or not decided, when I actually started helping, helped, and we got it started. We're doing some work together, or not together, but helping her get things moving. And then we kind of fell off, right? 'Cause I said, that's how I am. I'm like, if I have a client, I'm like, look, here's your homework. When you get done with your homework, come back. And so she never really kind of came back. And so it might have been a few months, and I called and said, "Yo, I'm doing this big event. Do you want to come?" And she was like, "Absolutely." So unfortunately, it didn't work out, but that's how we started with that. And then we kind of just checked in with each other the first half of 2020, right? The pandemic year, just kind of checked in every 3-4 months. And then for some reason in June-ish, we started doing more coaching. And the more coaching we did, I'm telling you what happened from my side. We was doing some coaching. So at a certain point, we like talking weekly, and then it was every other day or so, and then it was like really regularly. And so I started flirting, you know, and it was like, and so then she started flirting a little bit, because she's a flirt too. She started flirting a little bit, but it was still like play. It wasn't like, I'm really interested in you. And I will say that our mutual friend salted the game and, said some things like, "Oh, he ain't really interested in that and your style." So she was kind of like, "Okay, I ain't even gonna give it no weight, because I was already told what was what." So then at a certain point, she realized that, that's all I'm gonna say. That's my side.
Well, at a certain point, you're just so close to your stuff. When you're struggling, when you're in like your valley, it's like you can't see even when it's like literally right in front of you.
Right.
And you have been right in front of me, guiding me, supporting me, just cheering me on. And it did take the support and guidance from another coach friend of mine. Her name is Stacy. And she helped me Labor Day weekend. I went to visit, and she literally helped me, like all coaches do. Our role is to help move those things that are blocking you from thriving as your best self. And she did that for me, got me unstuck. And she asked me the question. And that's what all great coaches do. They ask you the question. And her question is like, "Hey, there's someone out there in your universe, very, very close, that wants to be all the things that you wrote on your list back in November of 2019. That guy is out there. Who is he, Dawn?" And the name Derick came up. And then I literally just, oh my gosh, it was open, it was clear. There was no questioning any of the things anymore. I went right away and called you before you went off into the friend zone. So I think I made it just in time to reel you back in. It's like, look, hey, you know what? My apologies. I am ready for this next phase of our journey together. So Derick and I are both under the zodiac sign of Cancer. He's a June Cancer. I am a July Cancer.
Yep.
And a lot of those things and those attributes that I wanted in my person, I had to sit with and understand, do I also have these same amazing attributes? And so that's one of the biggest things. A lot of us want a lot of things outside of us that we don't actually possess, because we think if we seek it and ask for it and get it in another person, that absolves us from actually doing the work. And somehow magically, just because our person has these great attributes, that all of a sudden through osmosis that we will be that person as well. That's not how
it doesn't work, because like attracts like, or like we like to say, vibe attracts vibe. So if you're not close in that frequency, then you're going to miss.
Yes.
And so,
100%.
so you mentioned, and this episode is about manifesting mutual magic for people. And we're going to talk about manifesting that magic in your business and in your life and in your relationships. So talk about, like, you mentioned that you had a list. And by the way, everyone, Stacy, her friend Stacy, the coach, her coach Stacy didn't know me. So it wasn't like she was planning to see, like, yo, there's a dude over there. She didn't know I existed. So, but you had a list. And you wrote the list because you wanted to manifest something, or you wanted to have a checklist or something. What was that about? And was that part of your manifestation? Was that just
Well,
a checklist that you had?
I didn't actually have all of this precise language that we are using today. We
Mhm.
all evolve in our wellness journey. And at that time, actually, I was coming from a place of pain, and so I really sat with myself and asked myself the difficult questions. It's like, what is it that, I desire in this human to be with, for the rest of my days? What does that look like? And all of these things that I asked, I sat with. I'm like, I am this person too. And so, but it is the energy around. We may say, hey, we want someone who is kind and thoughtful and generous, but it's more than just words. It's the frequency and the energy behind the human that is being generous.
Right.
It's the feeling, and I had to allow myself to be open to the flood of those feelings and emotions. I had to accept that. Well, if you say, because we all say a lot of things, but I had
Saying and
to,
doing two
yeah, but
different
we're
things.
not doing the things that we
Right.
say. And I really had to align my emotions and my aura around, am I this courageous, generous, kind, loving person? And so doing my own inner work, tapping into those places, those magical places that I know I possess, I had to unlock that and allow that to reach you in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. I want to caveat a couple things. Number one, I'm going to say that I think it's important to say that, what, we're both 58. We're like literally 8 days apart in our
Mhm,
in our births. And I say that because it's never too late, right? It's never
mhm.
too late. And we've been together for over 4 years, and we have an amazingly great relationship. It has challenges like every relationship does. Most of ours is distance. I'm in one state, she's in a different state. But damn, we've made it work. And so I wanted to kind of add that just because it's
Yeah.
not too late in your life, in your business. The average self-made millionaire doesn't become a millionaire until 60. Just think about
Mm,
that. So you can Google some of these stats that we're talking about, and just if you need the verification or the proof of what we're saying. And so we're going to talk about some business stuff, but I want to start with the manifesting in the relationship side, because it's easier to like actually touch. We're here, we've
mhm,
done it. From my perspective, I just made some intentional decisions
mhm.
about what I didn't want. I didn't have a list or anything like that, but I knew clearly what I didn't want. And when I saw Coach Dawn with those attributes of what I wanted, it was a no brainer. I didn't think I was going to get it because she was ignoring my ass, but she was entertaining me. She wasn't really engaging, and so
All true. All true.
so I wanted to ask. We got several people on. Hey, reach out and say hello. We want you to like the show. We're going to be doing more of these every Thursday. Every other Thursday. We're going to be doing these podcasts, and we want you to engage. We want you to say, hey, we would really like to know how you guys manage this. Maybe it's your long distance relationship. Maybe it's how did you merge your business to and we didn't merge our businesses. I have my business, she has hers, and then we have mutual clients
Mhm.
that we help together on our 21-day challenge. Speaking of which, one second, let me show you something real quick.
Feeling stuck? Lost in the routine of life, your finances a puzzle you can't solve? It's time to break free. Introducing Mutual Magic, a transformative 21-day journey designed exclusively for women ready to reclaim their power and organize their lives. With our expert-crafted network, daily meditations, and essential financial tools, you'll redefine what success looks like. Track your progress within our mobile app, dive into self-care and mindfulness, and connect with money and life coaches when you need guidance. Day by day, step by step, watch as you transform, emerging more confident, focused, and financially empowered. Join us, and in just 21 days, find yourself not just dreaming of a better life, but living it. Mutual Magic, where your transformation begins.
You know, we're
That.
just giddy about
I'm
being
so
able to
glad.
work together, right? I mean, can you imagine just vibing with someone so closely that, you know, I'm professional in my lane, which is completely respected by Coach Dawn. She's an expert in her lane, and I completely respect that. But we're able to bring it together. And I know that there's so many of you out there that are looking to find someone to touch and agree with, because one person can take on 100, but two people can take on 10,000. And if you've been to church ever in your life, you know what both those statements are referring to. And Coach Dawn and I are looking to take on 10,000. We want to touch and affect so many lives and help them to elevate, to live that 24K life is what we call it, in so many ways. So Coach Dawn, let's talk about manifesting from the perspective of you started. You said, I didn't have all the verbiage and the language or the knowledge about manifesting, but now that you've gone through your certification and you've gone through your individual clients, and now you're like the queen of corporate culture coaching. Tell us how because here's the deal. I'm just going to be honest, and you tell me you just go like this if you want me to stop. But we know, and you know more than me, so many coaches that are going back to a 9 to 5 because they weren't able to manifest enough revenue to continue to do the work that they were doing. But you have been able to, and you came from corporate.
Yes.
You spent over 20 plus years in the corporate world. And, you know, of course, all of us would go back if we absolutely had to, but you've been able to manifest a life, which very few do, out of coaching. So talk to us about how you went about manifesting. And now that you have the language, what does that mean to people that are looking to start manifesting today that don't have the same language?
Well, a lot of it has to do with being grounded every day, really doing that inner work where I cannot get stressed out. I choose not to worry into the future. I stay laser focused on what's happening in my life right now. I plant seeds that grow in their own divine timing. I make authentic, heartfelt connections everywhere I go. I show up, you know, as myself. I am Coach Dawn 24/7, 365. I am that human that, you know, that pours in to people when I know that there's a need. It's a feeling that I have when I'm in community and out and about, and it has filled my heart, you know, so much and allowed for so many opportunities that I never even imagined when I started this journey. I thought in the very beginning, back in 2018, hey, I'm going to have this coaching business where I would help Black women in corporate America that dealt with the heaviness and the struggles of being Black in corporate America. And I thought, man, with all of my experience and the things that I have dealt with and navigated, I am literally the perfect person to be able to help, you know, young Black women or seasoned Black women, no matter where they are in their corporate journey, to help navigate these very challenged spaces. But that is not where the universe led me to start this business. I literally started with 3 amazing humans, and I love to say their names. Dr. Michael Wolf, Dr. Wolf, Gina Gentry, and Miss Ella Inspires were my 3 clients that launched the Dawn Johnson experience. And I'm forever grateful. I have amazing relationships to this day. And Dr. Wolf is my longest standing client to this day. And our relationship has evolved. He has grown and evolved. He has taken his business. I don't know the exact dollar amount on revenue, but it has grown significantly from the $3,000 that he used to start his own personal money to start the organization. So it has just been I've just been so blessed that the right people, when they're ready, and that's the key. And coaching can be very frustrating because the right people aren't attracted to you when they're ready to do the work. And
Yeah.
that has been
So
that's
talk about
been
talk about
magic. That's been
talk
my
about your
magic.
work. Talk about your work because people hear that, and to me, and the reason why I want you to talk about your work is because I'm talking about your inner work, because people always hear, be authentic. You got to be authentic, and you got to be authentically you, and you got to show up as you, and people are like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna show up as me. But if me's messed up,
Yes, yes,
then the vibe is off, and then you're
yeah.
not attracting because you think you're cool, you're being authentic here, but the people you're talking to are vibing here or here. So what kind of, and you don't have to give the exact details because I know you do this in your coaching practice, but in general, give us a run of your average getting yourself together on a daily basis.
Well, one of the very small things that I start with when I ask a new client, a question, tell me about yourself. If you can you give me 5 words that authentically describe who you are right now today?
Yeah. No, I
And
don't mean your coaching. Don't give them your coaching. I want you to tell me about you personally. So I know for a fact you wake up, you can't do nothing until you have coffee.
my routine?
Just
Oh,
your
my
just your
routine.
personal
Oh,
the inner work that you do to because what you're saying, what I heard you say was, if you truly want to manifest, then you got to show up. But if you show up, you got to have yourself together.
mhm,
So how do you said I always authentically show up as Coach Dawn. And that's all, and it turned out to be magical. And you
mhm.
said also, I have not always been magical, which I assume that you have a routine, or the routine is what helped you to become magical. And I'm asking, just in general, in the big picture, what do you do to stay into yourself?
My coffee, my journaling, my meditation. I
Mhm.
literally do the exact same thing every morning. Every morning to ground myself to prepare for whether I'm doing a facilitation or whether I'm working one-on-one with my clients. I literally prepare myself as like this open vessel
Right.
to ask God in the universe, what is it that I need? Where do I need to be right now to be able to support the humans that I'm going to be engaging with right now? And when you sit in this space consistently every day, you become this very, and we're going to wear out magical, but it is magical. And if I could bring in a few of my clients, that's exactly because they're it's not a lot of answers, Derek, that I could give to say this is exactly what
No,
I
no, no,
do,
no, not at all.
because
I just
we're all unique.
right.
We all have, different DNA, and we all require different things to unlock that part of us to allow us to be exceptional. And it
Right.
is a very personal, it can be a very challenge because it is definitely not rainbows and butterflies on any stretch of the imagination. And a lot of this work is hard, it's dark, and a lot of times you have to do this alone.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a singular game. I mean, you can get some advice, some coaching, and but you have to go back, even with your clients. You ask them about these 5 words or 15. I think it's 15 words. Don't you say 15?
It's 15, but I,
Yeah.
I start with
Okay.
five
You don't want to scare
just
people,
to watch
but they
them
have to go
stutter.
back and do the work, right? They
Yes,
can't
of
just make
course.
up 15 words.
Yes.
And Coach Don will check you on if your words ain't, if you don't really feeling that you believe your words. So let me
Mhm.
tell you what I believe about manifesting from a guy's perspective, from a businessman's perspective, and my own 30 plus years of experience. So when I look to manifest, and I have manifested some amazing shit. I've manifested an $800,000 house. I'm being so serious. I've manifested amazing income years. So let me tell you what I think manifestation is all about. So, there is some controversy because you can say, well, there's a law of attraction. So all I need to do is know what I want to attract. And then you also have some people on the internet that I really like, really love, and they'll say, well, you got to know what you don't want, right? So
Mhm,
if you have an experience that now you know what you don't want, so that means you're getting closer to what you do want, and you're attracting that. And
mhm.
I believe that all those things add to the pie, but I believe that you have to sit back And part of Coach Dawn's journaling, and I journaled in my meditation since I was in my 20s. I was really weird, college kid. I meditated when I was in college, and nobody taught me to meditate. It was just something I knew I needed to do. And think about it this way: meditation is not this woo-woo thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're sitting quietly,
Mm-hmm.
preferably, emptying yourself out so that God can fill you back up, so He can give you the answers to what you're looking for. So if you have been asking for something for 5 years and you don't have it, you don't want it. That's the way I look at it. Right? I'm not talking about $1 billion. I'm talking about something normal. Like, I want a house, I want a car, I want, a relationship, I want this, I want that. If you don't have it after you've not been intentional about it, you've not been focused on it. So when I get intentional about something, and I got so intentional a couple of times, I made myself sick. And when I say I made myself sick, I literally ended up in the hospital. And so what I learned was that not that I'm so powerful, but that you can overdo it, and do so much work that you don't allow, God and the universe to guide you. So now I have this flux of both. But when I manifest, the first thing that I do, number one, is that I have to decide if it's something I truly, truly need or want, number one. And then I sit back and I go, okay, what does it take to accomplish this or get this? Now, you can't do this with another person. You can't say, what is it going to take me to get this beautiful woman over there? Because that doesn't work. All you can do is be what you think, the best you should be, and then you'll attract it. That I believe like that. You can't, there's no magic potions to make somebody else do that. But once you figure out what it takes, does that mean that it takes a new certification? Does that mean it takes a new license? Does that mean you need to go take a course? Once you figure out what you want, and then you figure out, okay, this is what it takes to get it, you have to do your part. And so I'm a financial expert over many, many years of hard work, thousands of clients. And so for me personally, working with people who have manifested amazing lifestyles, it is a serious combination of setting your intentions, staying incredibly focused, being prepared, and then doing everything that you can do. Because God will not do your work and you cannot do His work. So you have to do what you can do and then decide, what that looks like. And I'll give you an example. Coach Dawn helps me because I'll be hammering, man. I'll just be hammering like, no, we got to hammer. And so she goes, well, you hammer, I'm going to flow.
I'm going to flow.
I'm going to flow. And I'm like over here hammering, and she's flowing, and she's magically getting clients, and I'm getting clients too, but I'm hammering. And I'm like, well, I kind of like her way better. So over the course of the years, it kind of helped me to add that to my life, which is a great point of having a great partner. You can learn from them and they can learn from you, and you can depend on them, they can depend on you. But manifesting is about focus, intention, being open, and willing to do the work. You have to do the things that you want, and you have to consistently do it, because people will set New Year's resolutions, and it's the 9th. They're going to give them up by mid next week. All them people in the gym and Planet Fitness, you ain't got to worry about the gym being crowded no more after next week.
Oh, stop judging those humans. Okay. They're going to pivot and do something else. That is
a statistical fact. That is not a judgment. That is a statistical fact that everybody that people that set these resolutions, 85% of them are out by the 14th of the month. So I'm not judging. Now, if you want me to judge and they sorry as it should, I'm sorry, I'm just joking. So, when we talk about manifestation, how did you get to the point to where you said, I'm going to work with Black women. I really want to help these women. I have the skill set. I have the experience. I have the certifications. And then you get out there, and then that's not really who your client is. And then you got a new client, and then that's not really who your client is. So how did you manifest to the point to where you're doing so much great work in corporate America?
Well, I had to remove the exact object or the exact person, that avatar Black woman. And it ended up being the energy of the humans that were ready to be coached by me. It was energy. It was not the person looks exactly like this. The connecting point for me is just finding my tribe of amazing humans that alignment. That's another
Mhm.
magical word. Being
Right.
aligned with these humans, and it's just like, initially as a solopreneur and getting into this workspace, you're showing up at every networking event. You're everywhere to meet people. It's like I have to be in these spaces so everyone knows this is what I do and who I am. And then I realized I did try that it ended up feeling forced, and really it ended up wearing me down.
Right.
And so I feel that part of manifesting is just allowing some stuff to come to you without the forcing and the making and the hammering 24/7, 365. Not that isn't a part of the necessary work once you get in it, but
Right.
it's not always about how hard, I have to do something to make it come to light.
Yeah.
Planting amazing intentional seeds with the right people, and allowing that in its divine timing to flourish. You just nurture a relationship with just love, with just not expecting anything in return all the time. Having transactional relationships, I threw all that out the window. That
There you go.
is not a part of my divine assignment on this journey. I am honestly and truthfully led to people are who are ready and open to do the work, to be able to receive the things that I offer. I don't give advice. I am not a coach that gives advice. I suggest, I offer guidance, but I don't tell you what to do.
Right.
Part
Right.
of the work is for it to stick, for it to be transformational and long lasting. Is you have to get to that space where the answers start to come through you. And the beauty of that is when we do that in the one-on-one space, and they just start coming
Yeah.
through, and
Right.
the
Right.
ahas and the twinkle in the eye. I'm like, oh my God. I
Right.
mean, those are like the wins in real time that, and we build on those wins. And just like anything else, once that vessel is unclogged and the pathway is just open, it's
Mhm.
just more of that good essence that is you starts to just ooze out. And I am just that human that reminds you
Mhm.
that is yours. That is your gift to share and to get out there in the world and make sure everybody knows it. And
Amen. Well, I'm not the opposite because I'm a financial advisor. So I'm gonna
yeah,
tell your ass what to do. When we come to get your
yeah.
money right, I'm gonna line up your budget. We're gonna line up where your money's going. We're gonna line up how to make more of it. I'm gonna tell you which investments are the ones that you should consider based on your lifestyle.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of merging our two. And the real beauty of it, as far as I'm concerned, is that the first thing that we put out there is health. But the second thing is wealth. And,
Yes.
and we really say, and you can't really have wealth if you're not healthy because you don't have what you need to go out there and do it. But what happens is that when we work together, we are helping people to create more wealth so they can go live that 24K life. So they can
Mhm.
hire a coach Dawn, they can hire a fitness trainer or a nutritionist. You can go and you can buy organic foods and you can spend more quality time with
Mhm.
your kids and you can take vacations and not let your boss have a noose over your neck or an axe over your head every time
Yeah.
you do something that he doesn't agree with. So that's the beauty of it. I'm going to close up by saying this. If you want to manifest anything, I suggest that you get a list. Coach Don had a list. How many things were on your list when it came to the individual, that the relationship?
I think it was about 18.
Okay, you had about 18 things. Let me ask you this question. I already know the answer, but it's our podcast. How many of them were features?
0.
Zero. See, some
0.
of you all are, I want a 6'7" guy
Yes.
that makes six figures, that
Nope.
looks like this, that
Nope.
walks like this,
Nope.
so you got to be open, right? So put down what you want, decide what it is. So if you want a business, you got to figure out what business it is,
Mhm.
write it down, then write down how you see yourself operating in that, and then does that vibe with who you are? If you're not a mathematician, you don't want to be a financial advisor. I mean, it's just, be careful what you ask for. You've heard it before. It's true. So you want to manifest in business, in life, and in relationships. You have to know what you want. You have to be willing to do the things that no one else is willing to do. Now, the truth of the matter is that you're not in competition with anybody else, because we're all incredibly unique.
100%.
And God gave us everything that we need as individuals to give our gifts to the universe. So don't forget that. Don't think that it's too late, or if it's too early. I mean, some of you young people say, oh, you're young, wait your turn. No, there's no turn. Now is your turn. So I just want to close up by speaking life into you and letting you know that, yeah, you can have amazing relationships, but be the person you're seeking. Be that person first.
Amen. 100%. You have to be it. You have to be all the things that you are desiring. You better look in the mirror, and those things better be within you right now today. We cannot expect to have something that we're not.
Yeah. I crack up because people are like, oh, I want a guy with a 750 credit score, and their credit score is 550. Like that, you can't ask for something that you're not given.
And not to say that that's not going to work out for you.
No, 100%. That's not my point.
Because we're all at, different levels
stages,
in this journey. Absolutely. But
what you've always said, one of the things that you said on your list that I know is on your list, because folks, she told me the list when she was ignoring me, and we just happened to be talking about, something, and that came up. And I was actually helping her figure out how to find a guy. So, but anyway, because she was, I figured, okay, it's not me, so whatever. But one of the things on her list was, I want my partner to be doing his work. She didn't say polished, finished, sharp as a tack. She says at least doing their work, so they're progressing forward. And I think that's huge. So when you're manifesting
forward, and progressing forward for themselves, because there is no way, and I do understand that couples do grow together. No one has to be perfect to come into a perfect relationship, and everything is, I don't believe in the two halves make a whole. No, I believe in two whole humans coming together to create the mutual magic. And so I didn't say that my person had to be completely healed, completely trauma-free, completely. I just wanted that person to be on their journey and be very self-aware of what their ish was. Otherwise, I'm going to trigger you for the rest of this relationship, and that is not good. And for sure, as we transition to the next time we come back with you all, we're going to talk about how I triggered Derick significantly in like the first half of our relationship and early on. And he had to get it when I tell you, this is a part of who I am. And hey, you run with that. And there was a little bit of a disconnect, but once you realize, like, oh my goodness, she is actually who she says she is.
Yeah. And I am who I am. And so then you got to figure out it from there. But we're going to save that conversation for our next episode. We're going to be talking about not only that particular trigger, but we're going to be talking about the second agreement. And that is what, Coach Dawn?
It is, don't take things personally.
One
of my favorite books, The 4 Agreements. And if I have coached you, you have that book right now. And it's the number one book that I recommend to kind of help people get grounded in who they are. And those 4 little agreements really do support you in getting the life that you want. Number one, it supports you in really knowing who you are from a very, very much a soul level and a heart level.
What's his name? Is it Pueblo Plate? What's the guy's name? Pueblo? Coella?
Don Luis Miguel.
Yeah, there's something like that. I was close.
Don Miguel. Yes. The 4
All
agreements.
Right. Well, we thank you for joining us. We encourage you to, make comments, support us, subscribe to the channel. Let us know any topics that you want us to talk about that are in our wheelhouse. We're going to be talking about our businesses, our relationship, our lives, and how we can help you be better at you being you. We call it the 24K life. So I'm Derick Gant, and this is Coach Dawn, the dopest life coach you never knew you needed. And we'll be back in a couple weeks. So keep an eye out for us.
All right. Be well.
All right. Hold on. Let me roll our commercial.
Feeling stuck? Lost in the routine of life, your finances a puzzle you can't solve? It's time to break free. Introducing Mutual Magic, a transformative 21-day journey designed exclusively for women ready to reclaim their power and organize their lives. With our expert-crafted network, daily meditations, and essential financial tools, you'll redefine what success looks like. Track your progress within our mobile app, dive into self-care and mindfulness, and connect with money and life coaches when you need guidance. Day by day, step by step, watch as you transform, emerging more confident, focused, and financially empowered. Join us, and in just 21 days, find yourself not just dreaming of a better life, but living it. Mutual Magic, where your transformation begins.
Thank you. Have an amazing week, and stay out of the snow.